Update. I am at a loss as to what to do with my 54 male wife 51 female hall pass request. My wife and I have been married since 2001 and together since 1999. She's the most intelligent, thoughtful, caring, loyal person I know, and I have always thought of myself as fortunate to have met and married her. She is, even today, aesthetically beautiful, and men have told her this throughout our marriage, and she has always shot them down. Earlier this year, she was diagnosed with uterine cancer stage 1 and had full hysterectomy. I was never concerned about the cancer. It was diagnosed early, dealt with quickly, and she made a full recovery. I took time off work to look after her after the surgery, and all seemed well. There were some to be expected emotional instances on her part, and although I am not an emotional person, we dealt with them together. After her recovery, she was insistent that we start living life to the fullest and took a 10-day trip to Europe, followed by a trip to Belize. We also have a trip to the UK and Spain/Portugal later this year. I am fine with these things, building memories and crossing bucket list adventures off her/our list. I also understand that these are a result of feeling fragile on her part. She also took up yoga, swimming, and healthy cooking classes. I was fully on board until last week. Last week, she came home from work and told me she wanted a hall pass, a one-time opportunity for her to sleep with someone else besides me. She said that since her cancer diagnosis, her outlook on life has changed, and she doesn't want to be handcuffed from doing things she wants to do. She explained that there was this guy at her work that she has always had some attraction to. He is leaving the company, and she will never see him again. So this is the perfect opportunity to sleep with someone else. She said that I could say no, of course, but that she would be mad/disappointed at me for an indeterminate amount of time, and that it would be confirmation of my male toxicity and insecurity. I don't consider myself to be toxic, and if not wanting your wife of 20 plus years to sleep with someone else is insecure, then I guess I am insecure. I told her that I appreciated her talking to me about this, but approval via coercion is not approval. I also said that I do not appreciate her language in describing my as of yet unknown reaction to this very large issue that could affect the rest of our marriage/life. I got up in the morning and she basically said that she was sorry for putting such a large decision solely on my shoulders, and that to help, she was taking the decision away from me. She booked a hotel near where her coworkers are having a party/send-off for this guy, and she would spend the night there with him in hopes that I would be here when she got back. That she would answer any questions I have about the night after it happened, but not before. She will not tell me who he is or anything about him because she knows me too well, and that I will dwell and obsess over him, and that would make it too real for me, which is pretty accurate. Her point of view is that the less I know, the better, which contradicts the offer to tell me anything I want to know after it happened. I think she knows I won't want to know/ask anything, or she simply will not tell me. Part of me thinks, at least, she has been honest with me, and she has been through a lot since finding out she had cancer. So maybe I should just let it happen. I certainly have no concept of what she went through, so I cannot dismiss how this affected her mental state/outlook on life. Part of me wants to put my foot down and say this is not going to happen and deal with those consequences when they happen. Her BFF called me callous for even suggesting that I wouldn't let it happen because I have no idea what she went through. I find it hard to believe that she is okay with the possibility of throwing away 20 plus years of marriage over some guy that she has had no relationship with outside of work, and that I should just call her bluff. Maybe she thinks similarly that I won't throw away the marriage because of one encounter. I just don't know what to do. I empathize with her, and then an instant later I am angry with her. Part of me wants to know who this guy is. What does he look like? What has he got that is so enthralling for her? Is he just a safe option? Is he married? Does his wife know? Would I be a callous a-hole for saying no? What can I do besides walking away? Now for the top advice before reading the updates. This is sad. I'd tell her this. Let me be clear. You have taken away no decision for me that is mine to make. You are free to decide to abandon your vows on your own. Your willingness to preemptively insult any negative feelings I might have about this is a clear indication that you are all out of care to give where I'm concerned. Let's just say that I hear you. My announcement of my own decisions will be forthcoming on my own timetable. Oh, and just so you cannot ever argue to the contrary, you most certainly do not have a hall pass for me. I will consider cheating to be cheating, and more so because this is willful and pre-planned, it's cheating in the first degree. While you may think you get moral credibility for honesty, that's not how that works. You don't credit for being honest, you just get dinged for being dishonest. Thanks for your input, but I don't think she cares. I think she's so confident in me not going anywhere that she is going to do what she wants. It is up to me to accept it or not, I guess. Kinda thinks this is the way your marriage will be from now on. With her epiphany, she wants to relive her life, and she's going to do it regardless of your feelings. I think she's being rather selfish, and probably only threatens this because she thinks you are beaten down and will simply put up with it. Perhaps not the best time for trips and frills. She wants a single life. Let her see what that means. Yeah, her attitude makes me think it's not a one-time hall pass. Wouldn't surprise me if she has already cheated. Now for the first update. I have received a ton of advice that I couldn't possibly respond to. I do appreciate the people who took time to offer advice in the comments or via PM. It has been an exhausting couple of days. I was hoping that my opposition to her plans would give her pause, but unfortunately that did not happen. I said I am a hard no, and I am not sure how I feel about you if you go ahead with it. I was met once again with, this is for me. It will be one time. What can I say to help you deal with it? You'll get over it. We were meant to be regardless of the situation. Remarks leading up to Saturday. She left Saturday, ostensibly to meet her coworkers, but in reality sleep with a guy. I asked her to text me when she was leaving for the bar, and when she did, I asked her if she was really going to go through with this. After her response of, I am not answering any more questions tonight, I will see you tomorrow, I blocked my wife. Then I did something either stupid or brilliant. I went to the bar where the get-together was happening. Well, not a bar, but a transit bench across the street. I waited for a long time. It was running through my mind leading up to this event that I need to know who this guy was. Maybe to compare myself against him, to see what he had that I do not. It was driving me crazy not knowing who he was, and what was so special about him that she would ruin a marriage for. After what seemed like eternity, a woman that I recognized from my wife's office left the bar and got in a cab. Soon other people started filing out, and a whole group came out and people were hugging a man and shaking his hand. I assumed that I had my guy. I didn't see my wife, and had a brief thought that maybe she called it all off. I unblocked her and there were no messages. Everyone said their goodbyes and left. Dude was standing outside for a few minutes, and then my wife came out. She looked around, took his hand, and started walking away together. Of all the emotions I went through, trepidation, sadness, anger, it was disgust that really encapsulated the event for me. The guy was short, fat, and bald, all the things I cannot compete with. Ultimately, I felt like a pervert for watching from a distance. I followed until they got to the hotel, and then turned around and went home. I woke up Sunday morning and put a lock on the master bedroom door. I moved her things to the spare room and left a note asking her to find other accommodations as quickly as possible. I visited another friend who is a lawyer, and he gave me some sage advice and a couple of recommendations for divorce attorneys and made the introductions. My wife had been calling me numerous times since around 11 or so. Once blocked, the calls go to voicemail. I listened to the first couple, but felt nothing but some satisfaction when she couldn't get through to me, and she was obviously becoming concerned. I didn't want to go home, but I left in such a hurry that I didn't plan an overnight properly. I got home around 9, and as per my buddy's advice, I recorded the interaction. I was halfway up the stairs when she came up from the family room asking what was going on. Could we talk? I thought we talked about this. I just answered with I am not interested in discussing this tonight and went to bed. After not getting a response from me through the door, she left me alone. I feel kind of like a child for not talking with her and shutting the door on her, but I just couldn't look at her. Monday I got up and ready for work. She was waiting for me and asked if we could discuss getting back to normal. I said, you have been doing all the talking for the both of us for the last week. Why don't you continue? And left for work. I have an appointment with the attorneys my friend recommended for this week. As someone who is fighting cancer, I am infuriated on your behalf. I cannot imagine doing this to my husband. The audacity to say you're not getting a divorce, as if she didn't give up that right with her actions. She's delusional, and what she did is disgusting. Truly, I hope all of her friends' husbands know how easily it was for them to condone cheating. Having cancer is not a free pass to be an a-hole. Really, really sorry, Opie. You deserve better. Good luck with your cancer battle. I think it was just an excuse to do as she wanted. Cancer doesn't make you ruin your life. Second update. My lawyer wasn't available for a few days, so I was faced with the reality of having to live with my wife in the interim. I really didn't want to go home and have any discussion, let alone a discussion about our relationship. When I did get home, I was basically ambushed by her friends and mother-in-law. Instead of taking the remorseful approach, they decided that a full court press was what the situation warranted, and I was basically berated by them. The BFF was definitely the ringleader, but all of them decided to say such things as, "She's been through a lot. You don't know what she's been through. You have no idea what it is like to face something like this. This was a one-time thing. At least she told you. She could have hidden it from you. She will never see the guy again. And my favorite, you are an a-hole for what you have been putting her through these last couple of days." I listened with a stupid smirk on my face, and when there was a lull in their fury, I asked if they were all done now. Then I asked my wife if there was anyone in her circle of friends or anyone else that she forgot to tell about this. I quietly informed all of them that I was going to sit down with their husbands and tell them about how they verbally abusing me, shaming me, and trying to coerce me into staying with a cheater. After I told them to leave, I said that I had no say in the entire event, and so they have no say in whether I stay or not. My soon-to-be ex-wife sort of apologized. She said that she regretted the entire thing, but I said there is a difference between regret and remorse. The regret would happen because of the cause and effect. You have regret because your life will never be the same. Our relationship will never be the same, because you were wholly and willfully unconcerned about me and what I wanted. She asked if I had any questions, that she would answer them now, no matter how disturbing. I said that one question I do have is why. Not necessarily why this guy, why this low-end, unattractive, unfit guy, but why someone else in the first place. She said that the cancer scared her to her core. She felt like she was rushing toward mortality, and stepping out of that tunnel was appealing. She said that after all this time of being a wife and mother and worrying about family, this was something just for her. An escape. The guy was just someone who was interested in her for a long time, who she knew wouldn't say no. It was completely opposite to me. I said if I was going to risk my marriage, the woman would have to be a serious upgrade from you. I told her I saw you and him coming out of the bar that night. I watched you walk away from the bar hand in hand towards the hotel. I said you looked too familiar with each other and asked if there was something going on before all this. She said no, but who knows if that is the truth or not. I said that after all our years together, your lack of respect for me was astonishing. Then I finished by saying I would never be able to look at myself in the mirror again if I condoned that level of disrespect and stayed with you. I said I hope we can go our separate ways amicably, and that I have an appointment with a lawyer later in the week. I again asked her to find some other accommodations, and she simply said, "I am not going anywhere. We are not getting a divorce. I will give you all the time you need and do whatever you need to recover from this. We will get past this." She has asked me to go to marriage counseling, which I refused. Why would I go to counseling? I did nothing to warrant needing a therapist's advice. I had her served and gave her a notice to vacate. The house is my premarital asset. She has moved in with her mom, but I find her constantly coming by to see if I need anything, or making suggestions like, "What if we had an open relationship only on your side or 3 times?" Which seems kind of desperate and pathetic. Rebuffing her constantly and telling her she has to call to ask permission before coming by finally seems to getting through to her that there will be no us going forward. She has said that she will drag the divorce out for as long as possible, but so far has been compliant. The worst part of all this is telling my daughter that we are getting a divorce and why, followed closely by her begging me to give her mom another chance. I am not sure I would have been afforded the same consideration if I was the one who was cheating. Wow, Opie, you're doing the right thing. There is no one freaking person in these comments, which think like 130 people gathered to discuss, that thinks you're in the wrong. Your wife betrayed you, and not in a one-time mistake kind of thing. She told you to get over it before doing it, and went along with it. I can't explain how disgusted I am. You should tell those friends' husbands exactly what you said. You should tell all of them how they're attacking and harassing you for it. Personally, That would be a reason for me to leave my partner, because someone who condones cheating would not be someone I could be with. Also, you can start therapy maybe. Therapy works wonders, and it will make you feel better in a crappy situation. And please approach your daughter gently again and again until she understands your side. The way your soon-to-be ex is using your daughter disgusts me. What kind of mother is she? Cheating without a care in the world, then acting like this. Her regret doesn't mean anything. Everyone regrets when things are going down for them. She made a choice and is trying to escape from it. I admire her calmness, by the way. Best of luck to you and you only. Thanks. I have told my daughter that she would speak with a professional. I hope my soon-to-be ex-wife is happy with the life she has chosen. After vacating your house, is she feeling any remorse? Or is she still thinking you need to get over it as of today? Going no contact with wayward wife should be easy since daughter is an adult. What desperate measures has she taken that you haven't mentioned in your post and comments? She was stoic and held her position right up until she was served. Then she became visibly upset, then resorted to begging, pleading, and bargaining. Holy cow, Opie. First, you're amazing for maintaining your self-respect and dignity. I applaud you. Second, the fact that she had all these friends try to berate and manipulate you only solidifies you're making the right decision. She has enablers around her, which means she'll continue to make horrible decisions and feel justified because it's all in a vacuum. I hope you maintain your will and worth throughout this fight. It will be hard. Listen to your lawyer. Also, make sure you explain to your daughter that you cannot allow yourself to stay with someone who chose to betray you, even after you stood by her during the lowest point of her life. Ridiculous. Thanks. It was extremely embarrassing having a bunch of other people involved in this, and then having them involved in something that they had no business being involved in actually got me mad. I didn't say it in the post, but I actually yelled at all of them so loud that they actually started scrambling for their things. How many of them were there? 4, plus my soon-to-be ex-wife. So she listens more to her friends than you? Friends, the devil. Everyone close that whispers in her ear. Let it be. How long can they validate her bad choices? One day the penny will fall. It's actually a good test to see who else to cut out of your life associated with her. Good point. I told all her friends' husbands about how they enable this behavior, and the fallout is interesting. I said that maybe they're covering for one another. That maybe my wife was just the next link in the chain. This got them going through their wives' phones. A couple found inappropriate messages, and now all husbands have made their wives cut off my wife and each other. Was BFF one of those things? Of course, the BFF's husband says that she was definitely in an emotional affair and probably a physical affair as well. He is still digging.